Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. We're moving right along with our Commander 2015 deck reviews, this time covering Seize Control, the crazy Izzet Spellslinger deck. If you missed our last video on Daxus, Karlov, and Call the Spirits, you can see it right here. Ooh, so convenient. Anywho, if you're an Izzet fanboy or just really like to blow stuff up, get ready. This deck is so funny, just enjoy. The premier commander in Seize Control is Mizzix of the Magnus, and she is insane. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost greater than the number of experience counters you have, you get an experience counter. So basically you'll get counters for a while, cast cheap spells early, get counters, cast expensive spells late, get counters. The ability is going to follow your curve pretty nicely. The payoff is also ridiculous. Getting cheaper instants and sorceries based on your counters is gross. With that in mind, the entire deck is full of stupidly powerful Izzet spells. The curve is really high, but so is the power. If you can live long enough, you basically become a storm deck on steroids. You are given some early plays to get you to where you want to be. Goblin Electromancer helps you get ahead a turn mana-wise. Preordained Brainstorm and Factor Fiction are all great for searching for what you need. Mizia Mortars, Vandal Blast, Bluster Squall, Echoing Truth, all spells designed around helping you live longer. Remember, your deck does all the things, but it doesn't do them until very late in the game compared to most other strategies. Don't get me wrong, I can't wait to cast Firemind's Foresight too, but 7 mana, gotta work up to that, even with Mizzix in play. This deck looks a lot like a Melek Izzet Paragon deck. It looks so much so like that deck that Melek is actually in the deck itself. Go figure. Anyways, Melek brings serious value, letting you copy everything you cast, which is something you'll want to do since you're running ridiculous cards like Mystic Confluence, Call the Skybreaker, and so many more. Since we're dealing with a Storm deck, there are just certain cards that you should play. Obviously Snapcaster Mage, but not everyone has gold bricks lying around in their basement. Chaos Warp is great as pseudo removal. Personal Tutor and Mystical Tutor let you search for the spells you need for a measly 1 mana each. On that note, Merchant Scroll is a great tutor effect that most people forget about. You should run that too. Since you're going to be going through a lot of cards once the late game hits thanks to the cheapness of everything, you'll need to refill your hand. I really like Brain Geyser in this deck. Simple X draw spells are great here. On that note, Invoke the Firemind is also probably playable. Add in a Ponder, Tezzeret's Gambit, Treasure Cruise, and a few other cantrips, and you should be good to go on the card draw front. Speaking of Tezzeret's Gambit, Proliferate stands out here for letting you get experience counters even if you already have a bunch. Granted, the others aren't of the highest value, but you could argue that the extra counter is worth it. To that end, you also have Volt Charge, Steady Progress, Fuel for the Cause, and Inexorable Tide at your disposal. Last few upgrades, then I promise I'm done with Mizzix. Reiterate is stupidly powerful since Mizzix's ability applies to buyback costs as well, and that goes for any additional or alternative costs. Cost reduction is always applied after additional costs. On that same train of thought, Capsize gets super good along with Fanning the Flames, all certainly playable. Lastly, remember, you can play overcosted sorceries and instants because of your Goblin's convenient ability. Scour from Existence is a card most people would ignore, but honestly, you'll be playing this for what, 3 or 4 mana? To exile any creature at instant speed for that cost? Yeah, you'll take that all day. Apply this to most spells. Take advantage of being Izzet. Play crazy stuff like Time Stretch or, I don't know, Insurrection. The deck's alternate commander is Arjun the Shifting Flame. Whenever you cast a spell, put the cards in your hand on the bottom of your library in any order and then draw that many cards. Arjun meet Laboratory Maniac. Maniac meet the Fire Sphinx. Arjun is a bit awkward in this deck because, as you can tell, he requires a build-around strategy to take full advantage of a specific set of talents. Basically, you want to play this guy in a combo deck where you win the game by milling yourself. How do you do this if you keep tucking your hand under your library? Alhamrit's Archive, Archmage Ascension, and Tomorrow is Zombie's Familiar give you a ton of card draw and card filtering. Anytime you cast a spell with Arjun in play, you're practically guaranteed to get any hand you want, honestly. Keep the Thought Reflection in from the main deck and you have a self-mill win condition right there. Just fill the rest of the deck with tutor effects and bam, you're ready to go. It's easy peasy. Other cards you'll want for the Arjun deck. Niv-mizzet the Firemind is unfair. You draw cards and deal damage. It's so dirty. Along similar lines, it's included in the deck so it's not truly an upgrade, but Psychosis Crawler is an all-star here. Sphinx's tutelage is going to mill your opponents so fast they won't know what hit them. Chasm Skulker is essentially a 3-mana 20/20 in 2 seconds. As you can see, you have a lot to work with. Experiment, you are Izzet after all. Find what spell suite works for you. Whatever you do, remember that Arjun is basically a combo commander. You get to search your library for a combo pretty much whenever you want. Take advantage of that, abuse it. Let's talk value for a minute. Seize Control comes with Mystic Confluence, currently the second most valuable card in Commander 2015, sitting around $10. The next most expensive card, Mizzix's Mastery at $3.50, then Blatant Thievery at under $3. Nothing else really jumps out at you right away. Granted, some people will be getting this just for the Mystic Confluence, but this still isn't even close to the most desirable of the Commander 2015 decks financially speaking. With that said, the deck does pack in a ton of relevant blue-red rares for the Commander format. Epic Experiment is great, Urza's Rage is cool, Counterflux, Steam Augury, Comet Storm. You get plenty of great cards. If you enjoy playing Izzet, you'll definitely like this product, and I highly suggest you get it. While the monetary value may not be there, you get so many staples for the format that it's easily worth it. I don't know about you, but I'm lazy. I'd rather get a ton of playables here than have to go get them individually. No thanks, just hook me up. Seize Control is a great starting point for any Izzet wizard. Remember, I can only cover a few of the cards that would go great in this deck, so if you find any other gems I didn't mention, please leave them in the comments for everyone to see. Help each other out. That's why we're all here anyways, right? Let me know what you think about this deck and which cards you're most excited to play with. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Wow.